hello there. I'm Miss W, and this is Parts by Heart. As you well know, words have escaped from the word association of the world and are hiding in books. And it's your job to find them and read them. But those words don't want to be read. They want to stay in those books. They like to keep warm in those books. They don't want to be in your brain. So they've come up with clever ways to trick you so that it's harder for you to read them. Like finding sneaky ways to spell themselves so that you can't read them. But worry not, because Miss W is going to tell you which parts to know by heart so those words can't trick you. I've even found a way to trick those words back. I've come up with my own clever disguise so that when I'm reading, those words don't recognize me either. Would you like to see it? First, I'll get my word wand. Those transformations always make me feel like I'm going to sneeze. Do you think those words will recognize me? I've even got a collar so I can hide behind it while I'm reading. Those words won't recognize me. Let's test it out, shall we? Wood! I found wood! The word wood didn't even recognize me. I couldn't read that word at first. It's got a lot of tricky parts that I couldn't read. But I learned those parts by heart, and when I saw that word, I read it on sight. Let's look at our words of the week and learn the tricky parts of those words, so that when you see them in books, you can spot them on sight too. But first, I better change out of my disguise. Oh, I thought I had to sneeze.
Now it's your turn. Put on your disguise. Wherever you've got glasses, sunglasses, a hat, a headband, it can even be a scarf, a new shirt, or even a jacket. Anything you've got will trick those words and they won't even see you coming. Hurry up, go put on your disguise. Are you ready?
Let's get right to it, shall we? Take out your materials and let's go over the words of the week and those tricky parts that you've got to know by heart.
Take out your materials. Today, we'll be writing the words of the week in our notebook. So take out a notebook. You'll even need something to write with, like a pencil, pen, color pencils, crayons, markers, whatever you have. Take 30 seconds right now to grab your materials.
Here are our words of the week. You'll be finding these words in books all week long, so pay attention. This week's words are come, up, eat, all, now. Let's talk about each word. We'll say the word, spell the word, and talk about those tricky parts and which parts you've got to know by heart. So get your pencils ready. This word says come. Read it with me. Come. Let's say each sound. Come. How do we spell it? C-O-M-E. Now, let's talk about those tricky parts. This word come has a C, O, and an M and an E. But when I say the word, do you hear that E? Come. Can you hear it? That's right. I don't hear it either. I think that that's the part that's trying to trick you. I think that this E is being quiet at the end of the word so that you don't know how to read it. But we know that that's the part we've got to know by heart. So I'm going to put a heart right over that quiet E. So whenever I read the word come, I'll know that that E is quiet. And when I'm spelling it, I'll remember to put that E right there at the end, even though I can't hear it. Write the word come and remember to put the heart over the part that you've got to know by heart. Let's go to the next word. Up. Read it with me. Up. Let's say each sound. Up. Up. How do we spell it? U-P. That's right. The word up. Write it down. Can you tell me what letter is making the sound in the word up? Up. What's making that sound? That's right. Like umbrella is made with the letter U. But I want to make sure that you remember that part. That first sound in the word up is made with the letter U. So let's pop a heart right over that letter U so that you won't be tricked by that letter. Write down the word up and put a heart over the U, the part that's making the sound. So when you see that word, you'll know that the U is saying and when you write it, you'll know to write the letter U for that sound. Up. U-P spells up. Are you ready for the next word? This word says eat. Read it with me. Eat. Eat. How do we spell it? E-A-T. In the word eat, what letters are making the E sound? That's right. The E and the A are working together to make that E sound. But when you look at that word, it looks a little bit tricky. The E and the A don't look like they would say E, but that word's just trying to trick you. So we've got to know that that part is the part you've got to know by heart. The E and the A say E together in the word eat. Make sure that you remember that part in the word eat. Write it down and put that heart over the E and the A so when you read it, you know that that E and A is saying E. And when you write it, you remember to write the E and the A for the word eat. Are you ready for the next word? This word says all. Let's read it together. All. 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 How do we spell it? A-L-L. Now this word looks like an easy word, but sometimes it can trick you because that A doesn't sound like a normal A. It doesn't sound like like an apple, or A like an 8. It sounds like all. That's trying to trick you. So we've got to remember that the all sound in all is made with the A. So let's put a heart over that A. But I'm seeing something else that's trying to trick you. How many L's do you see in the word all? That's right, 2. There are 2 L's in the word all, but both of those L's are only making one sound. They make the L sound, or L. Do you hear the L? And because there's 2 L's and they're making that one sound, let's make sure we remember that part too. So the word all has 2 parts to remember by heart. The A that's making the all sound, and the 2 L's that are making the L. So let's put our 2 hearts over those parts that you've got to know by heart. Write the word down so that when you see it, you'll know that it says all. And when you want to spell it, you remember those parts that can be a little bit tricky. Are you ready for the last word of the week? Okay. This word says now. Read it with me. Now. Ow. Now. How do you spell it? N-O-W. Now. This word only has 3 letters, but there's a tricky part because 2 letters are working together. In this word, the O and the W are working together to make the ow sound. Can you say ow? Ow. O and W say ow together, but I want you to make sure that you remember that. So let's pop a heart over that part. Now has a N, O, and a W. And remember, the O and the W say what together? Ow, making the word say now. Write that part down and put that heart there so you remember it when you read it and when you spell it. Do you have all your words? Let's look at the list again. Here are your words of the week. And remember those tricky parts. Put a heart over them so you'll know them by heart. The first word is come. C-O-M-E. Remember, the E is very quiet and we don't say it. So put a heart over the E. The next word, up. U-P. And remember that tricky part, the U is making the sound. So we put a heart over it so it won't trick you. The next word, eat. And what 2 letters are working together in that word to make the E sound? The E and the A. Great memory. So we put a heart right over that part so you don't forget it. The next word, all. Now all's got 2 tricky parts that we've got to know by heart. We've got to know that A is there, and even though it's making a tricky sound like all, it's still made with an A. So we put a heart over it so you remember. And how many L's do you see? 2 L's. So you've got to remember all has 2 L's. So we put a heart over that part too. The last word is now. Now. N-O-W. And what 2 letters are working together to make the ow sound? The O and the W. So we've got to remember that part by heart. So we put our heart over the O and the W. Here are your words of the week.
To talk about your readers' needs and how Mrs. B's Reading Room can help you meet them, book your free consultation today at www.mrsbsreadingroom.com. I can't wait to read with you.